It wasn't the first year I hunted, it wasn't the second year I hunted, it was probably the fourth or fifth year I hunted. I had missed several deer alone or just with a friend, and the first deer I ever shot, my grandfather was at camp, my dad was at camp, everyone was there.
I got into traditional archery because of my sister, because I started shooting compound. I started as a compounder and went through 3 compounds and all this training, and she was hitting stuff without sights in the in the same tenoring as I was. So
you know, I believe that traditional archery is just a form of archery that is simple for the user. There's a whole group of people that carve bows from a stick of wood, and you go from that up to the a glass bow to high-tech glass bows, but it still goes back to no sights, stick of wood, stick and string.
To me, traditional archery is a lifestyle. It's a totally different way of life. It's everything from, like I said, making your own arrows, making your own bow, sharing that with your family, sharing that with your hunting buddies, and then taking that into the woods. You know, and then when you're done, you have more work to do because you have to make sure everything is still good. You got to, you know, you can't just put it away like the modern equipment. Like, you have to practice. You have to truly be passionate about it and be into it. My name is Bobby Ranaletta. I've been in traditional archery for my whole life. I'm 35 years old, so 30 years.
My name is Effie Grigoropoulos, and
I'm Dimitri Grigoropoulos, and I'm originally from New York City. I live in North Jersey now, and I also shoot in North Jersey near my house at a public range.
Okay, my name is Mike Neffley, and this is the Denton Hill State Park, in which we hold the Eastern Traditional Archery Rendezvous. The Eastern Traditional Archery Rendezvous is probably the largest archery festival of its type in the United States or the world.
We come down to Etar for the camaraderie. You know, there's nothing better than getting around people of your own kind and spending 4 days talking about something you love.
You guys seeing this?
You know, you meet all kinds of different people, you get different ideas, you talk about hunting, you know, you talk about arrows, you talk about bows. Again, it's just, you're talking about stuff you love with people cut from the same cloth.
It's like more tight-knit than other types of tournaments or rendezvous, like things like that, like friendly shoots. If you go to a compound shoot, it's like a more robotic machine kind of thing. When you meet the trad people, you know, they're just different people. They're like, they'll take you in, they'll tell you a little something. They'll, you know, while you're shooting, they'll give you a little hint or say, you know what, you know, you kind of like popped your hand out or something, and they'll help you out. Versus, I don't want to talk smack about compound shooters, but you know, it's just a little more welcoming.
I never envisioned that it would become this large. Quite frankly, I think one of the reasons it's become this large, people like myself started bringing their grandchildren. People like other young adults bring their wives or bring their girlfriends. So people are looking for a place to go where they don't have to and do archery without the tension.
That's one thing that actually surprised us, is how many awesome people you'll meet and you could talk to. And I go to Manhattan every day. I don't talk to a fraction of the people I talk to on Sundays. Yeah.
the great thing about rendezvous, though, is we met people here last year at Denton Hill, and we'll just randomly see them again on a shoot, and they'll remember you, and you see people everywhere that you meet here.
We have a few friends that actually we run into them at 3D shoots that are over 80, and here, a couple of them are here. Sometimes they'll outshoot us. We'll be tired, go back for a walk. They go straight into another court. So I want to be like that when I'm 8. That's my 80-year-old goal right there.
We have a kid, you know, maybe, I forget how old Chris is, probably 16. He's been coming off and on for maybe 6 years, shooting balloons, doing similar trick stuff. It becomes stick and string, eye-hand coordination. Someone asked me once, how do you shoot a traditional, or I asked him rather, how do you shoot a traditional bow well like you do? He said, I shoot 100 arrows a day. 2 months later, I was breaking arrows at 20 yards. He said, how'd you learn to shoot so good? I said, took your advice. He said, what was that? I said, I shoot 100 arrows a day. He said, I was joking.
The relationship you have with your bow ties right back into what I said about a lifestyle of traditional archery. Everything you do in traditional archery, if you're truly into it, you're truly passionate about it. So your arrows you have a relationship with, either because you spent 40 hours working on them, or your bow, there's a special romance being in the woods with a bow that you're a part of. You either cut a limb down and made it, or you just have some special bond with it.
As a person progresses through the archery stream, if you will, through the compound, through the crossbow, there becomes an interest in doing it more simply, without becoming sensitive about whether or not I'm driving a tack at 20 yards.
Real quick, for my birthday this year, I told my wife not to spend any money. So what she actually did was she put together a book and she called everyone I hunt with and said, give me your favorite story about hunting with Bobby. And I laughed so hard when I read this, and I will be honest with you, there was not one success story. Every one of them was how we went on a 3-day hunt and I came home with a red squirrel. Or I went on a 3-day goose hunt and Bobby made me drag decoys through 8-foot tall cattails and I couldn't even find the blind. That's what traditional archery is. It's the experience. It's being in the woods with the people you love and just having a great time and just loving life.
The sharing a common goal with someone that's 5 years old to 80 years old in the same squad on the same course, there's just something about that you can't find in other things.
When I finally shot my first deer, we were at camp and everyone was there. I had missed several deer prior when it was just me alone or me and a friend, but this particular time my grandfather was there, my brother was there, my father was there, everyone was there. So when I was able to call back on the radio and say, hey, I shot a deer and I think I hit him good, it was so rewarding hearing the roar from camp come across that radio when I'm sitting in my tree stand. It was just incredible.